I'll get to that. I haven't had a chance to respond to anything yet.
Absolutely. So Gummy, do you feel comfortable with what you've said, or do you want to say anything else?
Um, I what was I guess that was the side of the story, I guess.
Okay. No, I appreciate it. That was
I
helpful. For
guess so yeah, you guys understand what happened. They thought Kilth actually did all that, and he didn't because they found that out. But then in the very end, Joe actually ended up telling me that the rollback didn't solve the problems, and that is in his heart of hearts, he still actually thinks Kilth did that. So yes,
No, I
actually,
didn't tell you that. That is a
yes,
complete and total lie.
actually, no, you did. You actually did. Whether
I
you
told you
remember
half of
it,
that. I told you that in the rollback, there is no way to definitively tell whether or not those permissions were still there because it rolled back partially into Kilth's removing his administrative permissions. I never said heart of hearts, and I never said that I believe that he did anything malicious.
okay.
I was there at that meeting the next day. Joe got us all together and he said, "Guys, Kilth did not do that."
and let's not litigate this, folks. What I understand is people had present sense impressions that had certain outcomes, and that's where we're at.
There is an admin file that you have, Joe, that only you have access to. If Kilth was here, he would tell you that. And you are the only
What
one that's
what
able to
file
do
is
that.
this?
There is an admin file that only you can do the masks. And I wish he was here to tell you
I
that
wish he
right
was
now.
here to tell me how to do an access mask because I need one for a forum and I can't figure out how to do it.
But look,
Yes.
nobody's accusing anyone of fucking anything up on the website.
That's right.
Nobody's saying Kilth did anything wrong on the website. We're
So can I?
still not saying that.
Yeah,
At
go ahead,
what
Joe.
point can I
I'm
move to
done. I'm
me and
done.
my part of this? If it's now, that'd be great, but I gotta go to the bathroom first. It'll only take a second.
Okay, so while we wait on that, fucking Sock, what's up,
Hey,
man?
hey,
What's up,
wait a second,
guys?
though.
He's alive.
I was in that meeting. I want to give my perspective. It'll take 20 seconds, right?
Sure.
Right.
Look, I had been pissed at Kilth for about a year and a half, ever since this Wooster crap. And I was mad, and I had gotten over it a little bit. And then when me and him had that argument on the forums, I was pretty livid. And then when he stepped down from officer and did all that crap, and he threw his little fit as I saw it, I was done with the guy. I was really pissed. And we had the meeting. Nobody forced me to vote anyway. Nobody like pressured me into it. I was mad, and yeah, I did vote that way. And I didn't go, wow, I can't believe we just did that. I went to bed thinking, well, we're probably all going to calm down, reconvene, and then actually solve the problem right. Because I knew we weren't going to vote him out of the guild. I knew that wasn't how it was going to end. But we were all just pissed. And that's how I saw it, just like that. Guys getting together, being pissed at one guy, ranting about him, and then getting over it the next day. And that's really what happened. And if you look, the evidence shows it. The next day, we made a post saying, "Kill, thanks for all your time." We had a guild meeting saying, "Thanks, I hope you can come back to officer." Because we did get over it. We didn't kick anybody out of the guild. And it just never should have been a huge deal. It was just a bunch of people getting pissed over some bullshit. So yeah, I'm sorry to interrupt y'all saying hi to each other, but
Oh no,
yeah.
no worries. And I think that's really good insight. It's probably I'm guessing that you guys were trying to focus on a singular issue, that first night, and it was just kind of made impossible with what had built up over time.
Yeah, that's it.
Apologize for
A
that.
lot of stuff had been building, and this was kind of like a little pressure cooker. But that happens in friendships. But we didn't actually sever any ties. We didn't kick anybody out of the guild. We didn't force anybody out. Kilth was not asked to leave. I
Is
mean,
Maytheon
he's
doing
saying a
his
lot of
part?
stuff that,
Yes.
frankly, I think is just not true. But unfortunately, he said it and then left before we could actually talk to him. So nobody kicked Kilth out of the guild. Nobody kicked anyone out.
Yeah, I
Let
think the
me get
shitty.
to
Oh, go
my
ahead, Joe.
part next. And I hate to cut you off, but I think it's important that I do my part because it could be that a lot of the stuff that other people have to say may reflect on it. Um, this may be a little bit long-winded. I'm going to touch on two critical things: the business of what happened that Gummy brought up, and one of the things that Kilth brought up, which was me telling him he should leave the guild. But let me start with this first. A long time ago, and I've run this guild now for 21 years. That we can date. A lot of people have come and gone. A lot of long-term friendships that I've had have come and gone for various different reasons, and usually it's just life that carries people away. They get married, they have babies, and they move on away from the community. And we may see them to some extent, or we may not. But in that, I've had to remove a lot of people from the guild. For the first half or more of the guild's life, I did that solely of my own volition. So I gut checked, I looked at whatever facts were there, and I decided, hey, I'm going to kick this person out of the guild. And then I just did it. Somewhere along the way, we decided, okay, we're going to have a guild council. And those guys are going to assist me with major decisions as they relate to the guild. And that's so that we get the community's input into decisions that I make. Because sometimes the decisions that I made were really just like right or left, yes or no, and quick on the trigger. And then in other things, I really just needed some folks that were there that I could bounce things around with. So moving on into current times, you know, Kilth and I's relationship problems from a gaming perspective started a couple of years ago. You know, they didn't just start yesterday. And you know, I'm not going to go into all the little things that that happened between us. But Kilth is right that a trust issue developed. And you know, in my original statement, I'll stand by that was the case. But I'll also say that, you know, several months ago, I had some discussions with him about, you know, were you better off in the first officer position? Are you better off as a counselor? You know, let's get you into the slot where your abilities are best at. Because the first officer's position is supposed to be like a mini me. It's supposed to be a reflection of me and a person doing things as I would want them done. Whereas a counselor's position is quite different. Now, Kill feels, and he told me this, you know, that his role has basically been the same the entire time he's been in the guild, regardless of what his title has been. And I think that there is a lot of truth to that. He's been a number 2 guy, and he's been a very good number 2 guy. Moving on into current events, you know, we had a build-up. There have been a couple of council meetings prior to any of this happening that related specifically to Kilth. So this stuff didn't just come out of nowhere. The forum posts didn't just come out of nowhere. And, you know, what might have seemed like an overly severe reaction didn't just necessarily come out of nowhere. I may have been overreacting. It's a possibility. I may not have been weighing my long-term friendship with Kilth in all of those things. That's a possibility too. But he severed communications with me in a lot of ways a long time ago. And that really hurt the friendship part of everything. So that's a factor too. Moving on into the current thing, he did, we had the forum posts. He demoted himself, and when he demoted himself, he went into the admin control panel and removed his own permissions and so on and so forth. And we had a council meeting, and it was basically all just like Gummy said. The first day, we talked for maybe an hour, hour and a half, and I called a vote based on the information of what we were seeing on the website of whether we should remove Kilth from the guild. Now, I will say most of what the talking that was done in that meeting was related to all of the drama that Kilth has caused over time. But everybody was upset for the most part. And I was upset. And mainly I was upset over the access masks. And I kept trying to go back to the access masks, which are the permissions that we're talking about. Because to me, it was kind of like another HTED thing, and I really didn't want another deal where somebody messed up the website or whatever. So we voted that night on removing Kilth, but here is the important thing. We set a meeting. I think that was on I have it on a calendar if I really need to get it. That was on a Wednesday maybe, or a Tuesday. We set a meeting Saturday where we were going to discuss it with the guild, finalize everything, so on and so forth. So it wasn't, here we've had this vote and now it's time to tell Kilth he's removed from the guild. It's the start of a process. So we were going to talk to Kilth before that meeting, as Mathion said, but let me continue on. So at the end of that meeting, I'm working on the website. And in working on the website, I messed some stuff up. And that caused us to have to roll back the forums. So I thought, well, if I'm going to roll back the forums, I may as well roll back the forums far enough that we can get to before Kilth made any changes, and we can figure out this access mask business. And so I had them roll back to the best restore point that they could get, as close to that as they could. I looked, the access masks were still there. As soon as I saw that, I said, okay, well, we're not going to remove Kilth from the guild. That would be silly. And decided, well, we need to have another council meeting. Now, what Gummy's not privy to is that in Discord, we have an officer chat, which is a whole nother Discord server, little button. And in that officer chat, we also have a council chat. So the whole time this meeting is going, there's also text that's going in that. And then afterwards, we're talking back and forth in that. You can use that because people can come online and offline and then read what has gone on. So it's kind of like an IRC. So there's a lot of information there that she's not seeing. And in this information, I'm talking about, okay, I've found this out on the forums, so on and so forth. I'm also talking about all this positive stuff that I'm thinking about Kilth after the meeting, thinking, oh, he's a great friend, he's a great recruiter. I mean, there were just numerous things and emotions that I was feeling personally. The next day I woke up and I thought, well, obviously I'm not removing Kilth from the guild. I may need to do something, talk to him, send him a message, I don't know. We had another council meeting. From that, I think we determined we were going to send him I was going to send him a forum message, and then we were going to talk to him before the meeting. But that all we were going to basically do was thank him for his service. He stepped down from his position. So we're going to thank him for his service and let everything be. As that continued in time, in our council chat, we further refined that into saying, we really don't want to even do that. We're upset. Kilth's a great guy. He probably just needs some time outside of the administrative roles that he's been in, and then hopefully he could come back and be a counselor in the guild again soon. So as that's going on, Gummy was back feeding the information from the council meetings, which should have been confidential, to Kilth.